An outbreak of COVID-19 is getting worse in eastern Collier County, in a town known for producing a lot of our own fruits and vegetables and fruits and veggies for the whole country. Hundreds of new cases have been reported just this week as testing in Immokalee now finally expands. But a lot of farm workers and their allies are accusing businesses there of not taking enough precautions to protect people. The owner of one of the largest businesses in town, Oaks Farms, calls the response to COVID-19 a hoax. But 4 in Your Corner investigator Rob Manch learned that one of Alfie Oaks' own employees recently died of complications from this illness. Rob?
Well, it's truly a contrast when you hear what Alfie Oaks says about the virus compared to doctors on the ground in Immokalee. And Oaks isn't alone. Workers for several companies in that town say the farms don't provide personal protective equipment. And tonight, I wanted to share the story of one farm worker there who died of COVID-19. His name was Paulino Salinas Cortez. He worked at Oaks Farms in Immokalee, according to 2 interviews I conducted with employees there. One of them was Esteban Salazar.
He worked in the Oaks Farm, right? There's a lot of crews in there. Sometimes he works with me, sometimes he goes another crew.
Salazar says Salinas Cortez became too sick to work, but instead of calling 911, Salinas Cortez called him.
He called the ambulance. But the ambulance, somebody say it costs too much to give a ride to Naples.
Salazar drove Salinas Cortez all the way to NCH Hospital in Naples. From the medical examiner report, we can see he was taken to Advent Health Hospital in Orlando, where he later died of acute respiratory distress syndrome due to COVID-19. The story of Salinas Cortez was first made public in an article on the website Salon, published by Dr. Seth Holmes, who worked in Immokalee, but asked the owner of Oaks Farms, Alfie Oaks, and he says he doesn't believe it.
We don't know of any single farm worker that has fallen ill from COVID, not a single one.
Oaks told me he threatened Holmes with a libel lawsuit if he couldn't prove the story of Salinas Cortez. Meanwhile, Oaks continued on social media to refer to the coverage of COVID-19 as a hoax.
The threat of the virus is not what a lot of people had supposed it might be.
Take a walk through Alfie Oaks' store, seat to table, and no one, not even the staff serving the public directly, are wearing masks. That's against CDC guidelines, which recommend wearing cloth face coverings, especially in places like grocery stores. But an hour's drive away in Immokalee, the threat of the virus is a lot more real for farm workers.
I think that the companies, they really don't care about the people. I mean, I've been a farm worker all my life.
This man tells me he works for West Coast Tomato, LLC. He also has COVID-19, but wanted to remain anonymous to protect his job. Was West Coast providing, like, masks and stuff for you?
No mask. They provide you gloves, but they provide you gloves because when you don't use gloves, you hurt the tomatoes.
This man told me people don't get paid if they get sick and have to take time off work, so most of them come back to work as soon as possible.
Some people, they miss 4 or 5 days, and then when they feel better, they go back to work. And, after you feel better, you still got the virus on you. You know what I mean?
I reached out to West Coast through their website, but haven't heard back. Meanwhile, while this worker is scared to reveal his identity, one group tells me it's standing up.
These people are trapped in their livelihoods because we have created the economic conditions that traps them in it. So we can only pay 50 cents for an extra slice of tomato at Burger King.
Chris Knutson is with the Southwest Florida Activist Protection League. He's organizing a protest on Saturday outside Oaks Farm store in Naples.
Clearly, even though the man makes his living off of these people's labor, he does not care about their personal safety because to them, they're not equals.
Meanwhile, Oaks says he welcomes the protest on his doorstep.
Looking forward to having them out here for a peaceful protest. And that those civil liberties are exactly what I stand for.
And we're already seeing the effects of what Oaks has said online about the coronavirus and the fight for racial equality. The Lee County school system has cut ties with his company, and the protest planned for Saturday continues to grow. Oaks also says he's planning his own protest to counter what activists are saying. But the alarming spread of the COVID-19 virus in Immokalee can't only be attributed to the companies that employ those workers. I also took a look at the response to testing in that community from the Department of Health, and we'll be following up with you on that right here on Fox 4 tomorrow night at 6 p.m.